Hello. Um, I'm here again. Hello. It's been a minute. I would apologize for not uploading in a while, but that would kind of go against my feeling and my purpose for these videos. It's not sorry, I'm like staring straight at myself. It does not help with my rant. Um, it's not to have like an upload schedule. It's kind of just to share ideas and topics that I just want to talk about and kind of motivate you to change your idea of what you think is possible and maybe change your negative cycles of thinking. And so I wanted to talk about it's never too late to do something you're interested in. I think there's a idea all within ourselves. I think, well, maybe not all of us, but at least with me, or there has been, that if you're not naturally good at something, there's almost no point in trying. I just can't do it. I whatever, I this and that. You gotta change that way of saying that. You gotta cut out "I can't" completely from your vocabulary. I have a notebook one day when I was feeling really motivated, and it's just what I do now. What I've been trying to do when I feel um, a certain way. But I used to just post it on my Instagram stories, but then it wouldn't really make me feel good because then I felt like I would have to perform for my Instagram story. Anyway, so I wrote down what am I capable of, and right here it says anything, everything, and that's all you need. Anything and everything. Because I feel like this mindset stops people from pursuing things that make them happy just because they won't be good at it. So what? You could be the worst at it in the world, but as long as it makes you happy, then do you really need to be good? Something I see a lot because I have been interested in music my whole life. I make music. I post it on Spotify, and this is not just to be a plug. This is just in case you're interested. It's Pastel Daydream. And I've been in this music world for as long as I can remember. My dad was in music, and I think some people might see the music I do, and be like, "Oh, well, this person knows what they're doing. I can't do that." Well, why not? I think, for example, with music, whenever someone shows any slight interest in it, I always encourage them. I say, "Do you have a Mac?" And they say yes, and I'm like, "GarageBand is free. You could probably pirate Logic and just try it. Just do it. Make the music that you want to hear, even if it's because if you want to do something, you're the only person stopping you from doing it. I thought that I couldn't do music either. Although I had years in band and my dad does music and all these things that I line up. Just because I said that I can't, it stopped me from doing what I wanted to do. And so I'd make these little songs, these little tunes off a guitar, and but I would never do anything with it. And there was one that I really liked, and I told my friend, and she just said one simple thing. She said, "Oh, why don't you just post it?" And for me that was enough to just fuck it and then just release it. And people liked it, and I never thought that there was a possibility until I tried. And it took all it took is for me to stop saying I can't and just try to do something that I kind of wanted to do. And it turns out that in that situations, other people liked it too. It's something that other people wanted to listen to. And I'm not saying that has to be your end goal, but it's an example of that like it's never related to something you're interested in. You don't need to be good at something to do something. I started learning how to use Logic during the pandemic, and at first it's just you don't need to go and sit there throughout an entire tutorial and be like, "Hey guys, welcome to my everything basic for Logic." And if that might work for you, then sure. But sorry, let me go into no disturb. It's okay to just learn things a little bit at a time, and it's important to know that you can learn things in your own way to do things that you want to do. For example, I'm using music because it's something that I can relate to. This can relate to anything. Biking. It can relate to chess. It can relate to art. You don't need to do things in the traditional way. I play music based off what I hear and what I think the directions I think it can go. I play guitar based off shapes. When I look at piano, I know things based off shapes. I know like blank, skip, blank, skip blank, skip blank. I don't know. I can play something. I have no idea what that chord is. And that's not really an average experience for a lot of people when they play music. The conventional way, the way that a lot of people do it is they know, oh, C major chord, ba-da-da, or F minor seventh or some shit. I don't know what that is. I know the basic, like, oh, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, like, I know those are the letters and whatever, but that's not the way I function in that. And I think, not I think, and that's just the way that I've learned to do it. And there's been, like, and I've been okay with that. And that's how I've learned and that's how I've progressed. And I want to say, you doing it in a way that isn't conventional and the most default way of doing it is okay. What is not okay is just avoiding it overall because you feel like you can't do it the conventional way. It would not be okay for me to pick up a guitar and be like, "Oh man, I can't remember which one is the F chord. I don't even know the string names on a guitar. I don't know, it goes C, and the last one is C, everything in between, I don't know." And that's okay. It's not okay to give up something that you want to do because you feel like you can't do it the right way. You are able and you are capable. And the only proof, I don't know, you just need to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself and you don't allow yourself to do it, then you'll never do it. Saying I can't is literally the killer to whatever you want to do. Uh, I I'm trying to put this in more perspective because I really want to push this idea. Because again, I can't tell you how many times I see people be like, "Well, I want to make music, but I don't know how to do anything." Well, that's why you just go for it. You go for it. You try. You learn. It's like this is something everyone can relate to. School. If you were 5, if you were 6, whatever first grade is, 7, and you were put immediately in college level math, you'd be like, "Fuck, I'm dumb. Fuck, I can't do this. I'm not. I'm never gonna be able to do this. This is like for gods or something. People who are born able to do this." No, I'm trying to see. I'm trying to make sure this is not way too long. Actually, it doesn't matter. I'll make it as long as this is for me too. But it's the process of over time being able to grow your skills. You learn what a number is. You know how to associate that to quantities. You learn methods to of basic math, of addition, of subtraction. You don't need to be doing calculus your first day, right? And you don't need to hate yourself for not understanding something immediately. If you don't get something, it's okay to take time to learn. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to do all these different things, right? And we've normalized that. It's okay for things to be a process in education. Things lead up to other things and it gets more complex. And as you get more complex, it's these basic ideas. Sorry, I make a lot of saliva. It's these basic ideas that have led you to this point that's of complexity, and it's like that with a lot of things. You can't just wake up and be an Olympic swimmer. You can't just wake up and learn and just do a backflip. I mean, maybe you can, maybe you have that physical ability, but a lot of people no. You can't just. A lot of people. Well, I'm just saying can't, but you know this is in context. It's not common to just wake up and just run a mile immediately. It takes a while to build up, and it also just takes your will and your want. Pursue the things you want to do. What's something that people love doing? I think music and art is a really and just creative things are let's say poetry, writing, um, just dreaming, anything. Like all these like I mean a lot of more like arts things are considered just not doable because well, I'm not as creative as the other people. Well, I'm not as yada yada as other people. Who cares? Do it your own way. Every time something's been created in a new way, that person didn't follow the conventional path, right? That's why there was a new way of doing it. I felt like, let me see, when I made music, let me think. Hold on. Anyway, it's okay to just do things the wrong way. And again, going back to this main idea, it's never too late to do something that you're interested in. Emphasis on too late. I feel like a lot of people think because our brains develop until they're over 25, right? And at a certain age, I feel like people start thinking, maybe even my age, I'm 21, right? People start thinking, oh, I can't do that. I'm too old. I should have started when I was 3. Well, yeah, maybe you could have been a lot it could have been a lot more natural to you if you were 3, like, kind of I don't know, like, sure, this, that, but you can't go back and change the past, that's impossible. It's impossible at this point for you to have started when you were 3. Does that make sense? So, don't waste your time thinking, well, if I would have done it yesterday, if I could have done it last month, well, if I just stuck to it when I started it 2 years ago, I would have been great by now. Yeah, you maybe, but that's impossible to know now, right? It's impossible to be at that point right now. It's impossible to be in the reality that you started 12 months ago and you consistently did it every day, but it's possible for you to do it today. It's like and it's never impossible to learn something. Yeah, your brain might be done developing, but it doesn't mean you have to stop learning. It's possible. It's never too late to do something that you're interested in. You want to learn German? Go learn German. You want to go to the tropics and learn a different way of living? Figure out a way to do that and not like you could do anything. You can do anything. You can do anything. You can do anything. People literally used to go across waters and just colonize whole areas of land, right? I'm not saying it like, it was right, with the way people did it or whatever, but they did it. Let's use America for example. People told the colonizers of America, so sorry to those native people, that nah, what are you gonna do? You're gonna leave the tax? You're just gonna go and create your own land? And they were like, yeah. And people were probably like, you're a fucking nut job. You can't do that. But they did it anyway. And now it's a part of history. You can do anything. You can. You read these stories of people who are famous, who have beat the odds, who did things that they were told that they were never able to do, but we fail to apply that to ourselves. Why? Start saying, what can I do? Anything and everything. And it's okay if things aren't completely scheduled and completely um optimize to get to that goal. It's okay to just learn a little guitar, take a week off, learn a little more guitar, take a week off, learn a little more guitar, because over time you're going to be learning and practicing. It's like Duolingo. I learn a little bit every day. And right now it's just what motivates me is to keep my streak. I have a 50-day streak, but all it took was that first day. I'm learning French, and I thought I took French in high school. I didn't really learn much, and I was thinking, well, I already tried, whatever, whatever. But my sister had a streak. And for me, I was like, oh, well, I kind of want to copy what she's doing. Just in my mindset, that's what I was doing. And then eventually I was like, wait, I'm able to do this. It's once you realize that you're able and capable of doing whatever you want and whatever you dream, it becomes so much easier to conceptualize all these things that you can do. And I think what's a good way to start this mindset and this process of doing something that you're interested in when you think you can't is just trying to, in general, deviate from your normal schedule. Do a little something that's not routine for you. Know that you can deviate from things that you feel like you're supposed to do all the time. This set schedule. When I would go to class, I go. My community college is 30 minutes away. A lot of the time I would just commute there, commute straight home, or commute there, go to the gym, straight home. This very linear path. But then sometimes, because what I would want to do, I want to be better at skateboarding. It's something that I've always wanted, like since I remember being like 12 or 11, but I was too embarrassed. Well, I can't do it. Well, I'm not good at jumping. Well, I'm just, oh, whatever, whatever, whatever. And I was born female, right? So it's like, well, oh, only the boys do it or whatever, whatever. All these whatever, whatever. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then I got older, and then I was like, well, it's too late for me now. I can't do this because of this. I can't it's been too late if I just started when I was 12 and whatever. But then I was like one day I was like, "You know what? I'm just going to try it." And through trying it, I just got better. If you just do it and you just deviate from your normal schedule, you'll just get better. And I would take my skateboard with me to school. I'd just ride it to class and back, just through the campus, get more comfortable on it. Um, and sometimes when I would drive home, on my commute home, instead of just going straight home, there was a park that I would pass. And I would see that park. And one day I was like, you know what, fuck it. And impulsively, I just pulled over to that park and I just started trying to skate on it. I just started trying to do some, like, just doing it. And deviating from that path it just opens up the world more. It's like when you're playing a video game and there's all these structures in the distance, like, let's say you're playing Overwatch, right? It's like this, game that's like I mean, it's like there's like a little payload and you have to escort it through a certain path, right? You're taking this certain path and you're like, this is where I need to go, this is where I need to go. And you're looking at all the buildings in the distance, this decoration, and you're like, well, that's not possible for me to get to. That's I feel like that's the default mindset of when you're going through things every day in like a rhythm. And you're like, well, that's just in the distance. Like you pass it all the time, you never think about it. But then let's say you go into you know what? Let's stop that example there. That's what going off like a habit and default cycles is like. You're just looking at these distance images, these distance structures, and you're like, well, that's just for decoration. I can't interact with that. And breaking that habit and actually going out to those structures in real life is what breaks the habit in your mind that keeps you in this horse blinder like POV, in this way of just, well, I need to do this and every day, and you don't look around. You can't see around you. But once you get out of your normal schedule and do something that's a little different, you start getting a little more view on what's possible. You get a little more curious. You do things that you want to do more. You realize that you're able to do things that you've always been interested in doing. And it's all of a sudden becomes so clear. You're like, well, why didn't I just start doing this? I love this. And you shouldn't blame your past self for not doing something that you were not interested in. If anything, your past self and your past decisions make your present decisions more significant. I don't know. That's what I think. This was a whole rant. This was all over the place. I did want to talk about this. This is a little more messy, not as constructed, but I hope the message does get across that if there's something that you're dreaming of, something that you really want, and again, all these ideas really tie together, but you can do it. Really can. Um, Especially this idea that I've really been believing in more and more recently, more and more over time, is that if you want something, you're really gonna do it. If you want to go to the gym, you're gonna go to the gym, and not like, well, I didn't go to the gym, I guess I don't want it. But no, not like that at all. But if every day you're thinking, you're like, I want to go to the gym, I want to make a change, I want to be healthier. One day you're gonna be like, you know what? I'm just gonna go to the gym today. I really believe if you really want something, one day you're just gonna do it, and it's not gonna feel like a chore. It's not gonna feel like, I don't know. It's just gonna be like, well, let me just go. And so that idea ties in with it's never late to do something that you're interested in, which ties into never giving up, to ties into feeling like you're worth doing things, feeling like you're worth living, like you're knowing that you exist. There will only be one of you ever, and you are genuinely special. And no matter how boring you think you are irreplaceable. All these ideas tie together. And I really want to emphasize this. It doesn't matter if this video gets one view. I know the past ones have gotten some attention. And so I was thinking about being like pumping more of these out, but it didn't feel natural. So that's what I really want these to be. I want these to be like a natural talk. So if this gets 10 views, then I hope at least one of you really feel like you are able and you are capable. Yeah, because you are. I am too. And things that I want, I will never give up. And they're waiting for me. And I'm gonna go get it. You're able! You're able! Okay. Yay. Okay, bye. Have a good day. Treat yourself nicely. Cut out negative self-talk. Just try to avoid it if you can. Like, if you could participate in it and be like, I don't want that actually. If you're like, oh, I feel stupid. No, I don't. I'm just me. It's okay. It's okay to mess up. Everyone messes up. I failed every year in middle school, all my classes freshman year of high school, all my classes freshman year of college, and I'm still going, and I'm still moving forward. You're able. I'm able too. Okay, goodbye.